Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on us working our way up to getting a GTR. So we are working on the Honda Civic today. Here she is in all her glory, and I thought why not start by trying to clear up some of that rust, or what was rust. So let's send her in the air and have a look. This bit is going to be pretty inexpensive. And why is this bit going to be pretty inexpensive? I've got a welder over there. Do I know how to use it? Not really. But I have some old sills from the E36 and I have some spare metal. So the metal is actually basically free because I didn't even pay for it for that car either. So this repair is technically free. So let's see what we can do, and let's start by getting the car up in the air. If you're new around here, please don't forget to subscribe. 93% of our audience isn't subscribed yet, and it really helps our channel push forwards with these projects. So if we take a look, we've got a bit of rust here that we need to just clear up around the edge, see how much further it goes. I mean, that feels solid there, that bit not, but like here feels solid. Take a little bit out there, take a little bit more out, yeah. So we're probably gonna end up coming up to about here. And then on the inside, again, that's solid, that'll have to come out. Go to the bottom line. It's going to be a bit hard with this jack point in the way, but then there. But again, all we need to do is make sure that there's not a hole there. So all that's pretty solid there. We'll have to just take this bit out that's been burnt round. But then let's get a grinder. Let's start cleaning it up, and then we can cut some metal. So I don't know much about welding, but I know that the area in question has got to be clean. So we've got a grinder with a flappy disc on it. I did have a cordless grinder, but I ran it over, so I'm going to have to use a corded one, which isn't most helpful, but it means we can get ahead and start welding. I've got my goggles because I don't want any of that going in my eyes, so goggles on, grinding, and let's see where we end up with. I'm going to get like a POV camera, something that I can strap to my chest, so it's actually easier for you guys to see what I'm doing. Or I can get a tripod, I don't know. But basically all we're doing, going up here with the grinder and then just grinding away. So let me show you. And you can see, just in 2 seconds, it's made that clean. So basically what we need to do is just find the clean metal. Again, it's going to be a bit awkward here, but it'll be fine. And there, and then in there. So I'm going to get grinding for a little bit, and then I will show you an update very, very shortly. So I'm having a bit of a hard time cleaning it up too well. Here's, you can see all the shiny around the outside. Basically that's where we need for the weld to stick. Just need to get these excess bits of rust out, and then we need to measure and make some patches to go around it. So I'm thinking, well, down here, across here, up there, down there, and then back round. But like, I've never done this before, so you know, it's a learning curve, but you never know unless you try. So let's give it a good old go. Fortunately, this side is only like a small tiny hole there, a small tiny hole there, and then like, I don't know if I'm going to have to take that out or not. Feels solid, so like maybe. As soon as I get the grinder on it, I'll know. But for now, seems like I won't need to do too much this side. Firstly, I want to say, if you have any welding tips, fabricating examples, or anything like that, please let me know, because it genuinely does interest me. I would like to learn this stuff. I'd like to learn as much as I can, but I've made a couple of pieces, so let me show you. I do still need to do a little bit more cleaning up before we get the welding out there. So we got a patch there and a patch here. So here's one piece that I've got to go in there. which once welded in, you won't even know it's there really. And then I've got another piece that's literally going to go across there. I haven't taken out the middle bits yet, but here we are. So here I've got my welding set up. I'm just going to give it a go, see what happens, try and get some metal stuck to metal. Let's have a gander. Let's see if I can get this sorted. So here we go. Here is me attempting to weld. I've never done any courses or have much knowledge on it, just from basically whatever you see other people doing on the internet. I know a couple of people that have welded that have given me a small run through. So at this point it's basically a guessing game. I've cleaned up the metal, I've cut up another bit of metal that's close to the sides. You can see me here either tapping it to make sure it's going to stay on from the tacks that I've done, or I'm trying to sort of bend the metal around into place. But I've got the welder set up to the best of my ability. I had a little bit of advice from somebody and I just turned the dials and changed the numbers to what they said basically. I don't know what any of it meant. I think it's wire speed and heat, but I'm just attempting it and you'll see shortly how it come out. I don't think it come out too bad, but ultimately for one of my first ever times welding on a car, I don't think it's bad whatsoever. Right, as you just saw, that was a little bit of a struggle, but peppered burns, so I kept jolting around. My own fault for not wearing the right stuff. But I'll take you over here. The bit of metal in question, where's my hammer, is absolutely in place. It needs some tidying up, but that, you cannot complain at. Yes, it doesn't look the prettiest, but it works. That's all that matters. And we got to remember, the quicker we do this, the quicker we can get an MOT on it, the quicker we can sell it, blah, 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 blah. That is the goal here. So let me do some more welding. I'll pick you up when we've patched this side off. So another half an hour has gone by and I've done 2 patches. Not pretty, but it works. The main thing here is that we need to make it work. So there's my 2 patches. I'm not going to get too close, you can appreciate it from afar. They're solid and they are on there. You can smack them with hammer and they ain't coming out. They're still both a little bit warm. Obviously I just need to fabricate a bit for this corner, which I have this piece down here already somewhat cut out. So I'm going to trim that down, go around, obviously probably do a weld up here and go around, weld up there and then along the bottom of here. But ultimately not bad, I can't complain, and this saves a lot of money getting me to do it rather than paying for somebody else to. So let me give you all an update. My eyes are killing me, I'm not used to this. Fair play to anybody that welds like all day every day, because I'm probably not even doing it right, and I've only been doing it probably about an hour and my eyes are killing me. So fair play to every single one of you who welds. Let me show you where I'm at. So we've got 1 patch here welded, 1 patch here welded. I've welded this bit in here and then I've added this bit going to fold this bit, or I think I'm going to cut this bit off here like that, and then do a plate from this back edge all the way around, covering that. I know this side has a hole in it, but I can't imagine it'll make much of a difference because the jacking point is here anyway, so I don't even know why that's got a hole in it. But as long as it's boxed in and welded together, that's all that matters, and we are getting there. Right guys, I have just finished the box section. So first thing I want you to bear in mind is I am not a welder. This is like my first time trying to fabricate anything. So I'm going to show you now, but we've gone from holes to no holes. So let me turn this camera around. And there we go. Is it pretty? Absolutely not. But I'm going to go around and I'm going to sand it down a little bit, try to get the welds a little bit flat, but that looks 10 times better than it was when we started. So that is it guys. I got dirt everywhere. I've just been sanding. I've done a bit of painting over the top, but ultimately I think my first time welding has not been too bad. Let me show you. So there is in the wheel arch, you can see the sort of dots of the weld, but it's solid. You cannot get a hammer through it. And then we come under here again, you can see the dots of the welding, but ultimately not that bad, and a lot better than when we started with loads of holes. This side, I don't know if it's going to be easier or not, but try it for another day, and we don't have to weld the wheel up. Doing these sort of videos really helps me personally because I'm expanding my skills all the time. I would have never ever dreamed of trying to weld, and do you know what, screw it, why not? What's the worst that's going to happen? So we've sort of learned how to weld, by no means perfect, but better than when I started this video. So if you've enjoyed watching me attempt to weld this and you want to see the series of getting my way up to a GTR, next episode on this we're going to be doing a lot more bits, and I'm going to leave the paint for last because if you remember, the paint is not very good. It doesn't look near as bad as in the first video because I give that clean. But if you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.